Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 9th. This is Story of the Black Conservative checking in. So today I just want to talk about, I just want to respond to a video that I watched from a YouTuber called Marcus Rogers. Marcus Rogers is, I don't know if he's a pastor or reverend, I don't know who he is, but he preaches a lot on YouTube and talks a lot about God and, just the daily things going on around the U.S. So I love his channel. But I just want to respond to this one video. So he put out a video about how love is not the only thing that can rescue marriage. I'm just paraphrasing that, but I don't think that was the title of the video. But anyway, he gave a good analysis on other factors that can rescue marriage. And my whole point of responding to this video is I saw a lot of women in the comment section, plenty of women, a lot of women. I think the majority, I'd say 99% of the comments were women. And majority of the women were talking about how they're unequally yoked. And if you're not a Christian, unequally yoked means that you're of God and your husband or wife is not of God, or they're not saved, or they're not born again. So, or they're not believers. So that's what unequally yoked means. So majority of the women were talking about how unequally yoked they were and how disturbing that was for them and how ungrateful they were in their marriages. And there's a Christian women. There's a women who call themselves Christians. And reading through the comments, it just hit me, and I was like, I understand why their husbands do not want to become born again, or they don't want to be saved, because these women are pushing the Bible. They're pushing God onto these men, and they're imposing their will on their husbands. And that's why their husbands are running away. That's why their husbands are pushing them away. That's why they're unequally yoked. Or that's why they're not spiritually connected. And people, especially women, women do this a lot. They need to understand that just because you're born again, just because you're saved, doesn't give you a right to go impose your will or push that onto your husband. A lot of women do this. They'll go find a guy. They'll go find a guy. They're probably not saved either. They'll get in a relationship. They'll get engaged, they'll get married, and then the woman gets saved, and she'll start going to church every Sundays, takes the kids to church, but the husband will not go. And she'll try to force the husband to go to church, but the husband will refuse to go. Why? Because the woman's imposing her will on the man. And that's not how the structure of God works. The structure of God is God over man, man over woman, and woman over children. But women fail to understand, or they fail to see the structure. They think just because they're born again, they've given their lives to Christ, which majority of them actually are just lukewarm, to steal a term from Marcus. They're just cookie cutter Christians. They're not true Christians. And they become saved and they think they're better than their husbands. And the husbands turn away from them. The husbands distance themselves because they see this person who calls himself a Christian but is not acting Christian-like. Imposing your will on someone is not Christian-like. It's not. God tells us to be the light of the world. I'm going to repeat that again. God tells us to be the light of the world. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you have to go and impose your impose your beliefs on somebody else or on other people. No, just live your life. Be a good Christian, pray every day, meditate to God, and that light within you will shine onto other people. You'll find, people will come onto you and say, hey, you're so positive. Why are you always positive? How do you do this? You're always calm. You're always calm and collected. People will see that light. They'll see that light shining from you, and they'll come up to. They'll approach you themselves and ask you what you do to make that light shine. And when they ask you, that is when you can say, hey, this is what you need to do. I give my life to Christ. Forgive. Go forgive. Things like that. So women, you need to stop imposing your will on your husbands. Your husbands are running away from church. Your husbands are running away from God because you're imposing your will on them. Just let them live. Let them live, and God will come to them anytime. God might come to them 50 years from now. God might come to them on their deathbed. God might come to them tomorrow. God might come to them the next hour. So you just never know when God will come to them. Just live your life and love your husbands. Love your husbands. Do not stop judging your husbands, women. Do not judge your husbands. Love your husbands. Love them. Shine that light onto them. And they'll probably move on to the bright side. Love your husbands. Show them love. Treat them like Christ would treat you. Don't judge them. Please stop judging your husbands. And that's why you're having miserable marriages. That's why you're very miserable in your marriages, because you're judging your significant other. You're judging them because they're not Christian. Anyway, I just want to respond to that. I saw a lot of comments in that video, and it just I was implored to respond to that. Otherwise, just leave a comment, share this video, and let me know what you think. I'd like to hear from you. This is Story of the Black Conservative, checking out.